So an English dub voice actor just got caught being a groomer. Not even just a groomer, but a full-on pedo. The man in question is named Kiba Walker, and wouldn't you know it, he was also one of the people trying to attack Jacob Takanashi back during that whole SAG-AFTRA strike when Jacob took the recast role of Kinich because the original voice actor pretty much abandoned the position and left the character unvoiced for months. A lot of people in the VA industry dogpile Jacob for that, including this guy. Now to this point, there have been 2 Google documents exposing this guy for grooming, sending some sexual messages to minors, asking for nudes, all of that nasty stuff, and we'll be getting into that. But for anybody who doesn't know who this is basically an English voice actor for a lot of characters. He's also gay, so he does a lot of drag queen stuff and like tends to voice characters that are in like BL and things like that. One of the characters that he voices is Tsubaki from Windbreaker. Apparently he also voices the character Maynard from Clevites, which is interesting because the anime is currently airing right now. I wonder what's going to happen to that. But generally speaking, this guy is annoying and a moral grandstander, not just with the situation with Jacob Takanashi, but also years before that with the Vic Mignogna situation. But wouldn't you know it, Morality Man here is actually a predator. So let's get into the first Google document. This tweet here by Bladewell B says, "My experience with Kiba Walker, aka Kyle Davis or LX VTuber EN, a recount of events from my teenage years that left me with lingering issues building trust and real connections with people." This was posted on July 30th, and since then Kiba has privated his account, so we can't really see any of his tweets. But let's get into the document. It starts off with, "I'd like to start by saying that it took me 7+ years to process what happened to me. I cut off all contact in the middle of 2023, and since that I've debated with myself if it was worth making this post. The fact that they seem to be moving up in the world has definitely influenced my decision, but only because I can't fathom the harm they are capable of doing to others with a substantial platform, considering the harm that was done to me with the little notoriety they had at the time. With all that being said, it's time to tell my story." Just as a side note before we get into the summary, this guy Kiba Walker had another person that wrote a Google document about how they were groomed by him, so if that's 2 different people releasing Google docies on how you're a weirdo and a creep, and you were sending them sexual messages while they were underage, I can only imagine how much more he was doing this kind of thing with different people. For everyone that doesn't know, my name is Corey. I was born December 16th, 2001, which makes me 23 years old at the time of writing this, and I primarily go by Blade or Bladewell B online. This document is about my experience being groomed by Kiba Walker through the years, whose information will be listed below. In telling this story, I wish for it to serve as a warning to others of their predatory behavior. Screenshots will be provided where necessary, although some were lost to Skype shutting down and WhatsApp incorrectly backing up my message history for those years. Twitter images will all be from my old account, which is archived and only accessible to me. Aliases and info, date of birth, February 10th, 1995, 22 when we met. And it has all of his aliases, Kiba Walker, LX VTuber, Kyle Davis, Salem Moon, and the Retrocade. The beginning. It started with conversations about music. I was 15 at the time, and definitely interacting on Twitter more than I do now. I complimented a recently posted song cover I enjoyed by a voice actor of a character I adored from a YouTube series, which spiraled into several follow-up conversations about singing. And here's the tweet, here it is, our cover of Say Something with the amazing Griff voices. Thanks for letting me join you on this cover. And his response, I've practiced playing and performing that so many times and not even being close to this good. I love it /you. At some point, I started complaining about the way that my school was handling my musical education. In particular, a teacher who used to complain about working with me despite her vocal training being the sole reason for that placement. They offered to teach me for free, and I jumped at the opportunity to spend one-on-one time with a voice actor I looked up to. And here's Kiba saying, she's not teaching you anything. I kinda wanna take you under my wing. And Blade responds with, I kinda wish she'd be a bit more mature about it. I caught word from my friend that she was complaining about working with me. And Kiba says, yeah, no, forget her. I'll teach you if you want. Over Skype or whatever. I usually charge, but I'll do it for free. Then things go from public tweets into the DMs. I'll do lessons free for you. Has anyone ever told you that you might be too nice for your own good? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. This guy's rubbing his hands together. He knows what he's planning. No free lunch, right? The free lessons aren't going to cost money, but they're going to cost something else. But anyway, do you want the lessons or no? If you're offering, then I guess the answer is yes. Since you said you don't do this often, I can't really refuse. I mean, you could refuse if you don't want to not pay, but I'm offering, yes. I didn't actually realize until properly reviewing these screenshots, but even as early as this, they were still bringing up adult topics with me in private. Salutations, what's up? What are you up to now? Loading Twitter on my laptop so I have dynamic DMs. I gotta keep refreshing to see replies otherwise. There we go. Ha ha ha, too busy on that Rule 34. Tisk tisk. Windows phones might be stupid, burn the Rule 34, burn all the link Rule 34. No, where will I get my corn? People cosplaying as him? And just for those who will inevitably attempt to claim that they may not have known how how old you were, I made it pretty clear during some of our public interactions. LOL, when you've been doing this for almost 2 decades, you keep a repertoire handy. Almost 2 decades. I only started piano last year and guitar on and off for 4 years. Makes sense that I don't have much. Yeah, no, I've been singing for 16 years and playing various instruments for a collective 7 maybe. You've been singing for longer than I've been alive. I guess that's what happens when you're in your 20s. You adults and your adulting stuff. LMAO, with age comes experience, I guess. My voice hasn't even properly broken yet. Jesus, dude, the guy was 15, his voice didn't even drop yet, and this guy was 22. Just no reason at all for their interactions to be sexual, but Kiba Walker is a creep, so of course he would keep pushing. The bulk. So the first singing lesson comes around and everything plays out normally. They sent me a song to learn as homework and agreed to Skype call again every Friday for another one. We talked in between, but when the time came, they would always be too busy or have last-minute plans that caused them to cancel, so we settled on keeping it as a casual friendship to avoid the inconvenience of lesson scheduling. My memory of that time is very foggy at this point due to how long it has been, but I believe this is when the first proper flirting started. Basic stuff like calling me cute or hot mid-conversation to more on-the-nose stuff like mentioning when they were horny or that I was their type. Chubby. At some point, I gave in to the flirtations and requests to trade nudes because this was someone I looked up to and I was terrified that they would lose interest in our friendship if I didn't reciprocate. This was a stupid mistake on my part and one that I will always look back on with regret because I was essentially facilitating a crime. Opening that can of worms was the start of something that continues to influence how I interact with people. The flirtation got more frequent, they started sharing corn that they liked, and they made a game out of trying to arouse me while I was at school. Lock this guy up and throw away the key. There's no way, man. There's no way. 15 and 22, by the way. That's a 7-year age gap in a guy that's literally a full-grown man with a 15-year-old. That's like a sophomore in high school. Trying to get this kid aroused while he was at school is insane. Occasionally, I would still play along with the horny DMs of jerk-off vid requests because I was still very much scared of losing my friend. It got to a point where I was made so uncomfortable by every conversation that I would ignore them entirely and claim to have technical problems. What this led to was several attempts to contact me through various social media services asking me if they had done something wrong. And here's more of their DMs. Kiba says, "Do you not talk to me anymore for a reason? My phone is broken, dude. You have Twitter and a computer." Whatever, I'm used to this. All my friends always have some excuse to not talk to me, and I'm sorry that happened, with your phone. But yeah, I'm just over it at this point. Over what? I don't check Twitter on my laptop unless I absolutely have to. If you use my laptop, you'd know why. This guy Kiba Walker is legitimately seething over the fact that this 15-year-old won't engage in sending him nudes anymore, and he's trying to guilt trip him. Just disgusting behavior, and also sad to see that this guy was getting manipulated like this, pressured into continuing this relationship because he looks up to Kiba. After this particular message, I felt so guilty over hurting a friend that I started responding to them again, leading to the same kind of situations happening over and over. I assume my outward attitude towards them must have changed during this time, as I was asked the question of whether or not I still like them. I'm just gonna internally scream while drinking Mountain Dew and coughing my guts out in a Skype call. No, don't do that. Speaking of which, are we still cool and such? I feel like you've started hating me now because of the whole sexting shit. If I'm being honest, we're fine, but the sexting makes me slightly uncomfortable. I love talking to you, you're a fun person, and I don't get why people don't like you. I just backed off because I felt like I was giving off the wrong impression. Okay, you could have just said that. I thought you liked it too and, well, I'm sorry. I guess I can stop and I apologize profusely. You shouldn't feel the need to apologize. I would never wish to hurt you in any way, but I realized that by backing off, I was making it worse. I'm the sorry one. No, it's fine. It's whatever. Just pretend it never happened. I gotta go to sleep, alright? I'll talk to you later. Good night. I hope we can talk more again somehow. I don't have much by the means of messaging. I definitely could have been more assertive about my response, but once again, I didn't want them to start pulling away from me. I was a 15-year-old with the chance to frequently interact with someone I thought was the coolest person in the world, and it would have killed me to know that they were actively choosing to talk to me less. After that conversation, the details get a little blurry for me. I remember that at some point I switched to Discord for messaging purposes and decided to stop talking to them for a short period until I got another ping asking why I wasn't responding. I had turned 16 at this point and was in a different frame of mind after an amount of time without them, so I thought there wouldn't be any harm in letting them back in and tried to be honest about my reason for distancing myself. Yo, so is this where I need to get a hold of you now? If you want a response that isn't days late, probably. I mean, I just want my friend back. As I said, I'm more likely to respond here. I just figured you'd try to talk to me more. My memory is stupid. I genuinely forget to check, then forget to respond. And I've cut back from talking to a lot of people. Redacted and redacted don't hear from me much anymore. I guess I just distanced myself. I guess I'm just upset because I thought we'd at least talk more since, you know, we've done shit together. LMAO. My brain doesn't make exceptions. I literally shut everyone out for a while. Good to know. This guy Kiba Walker saying we've done together is literally him confessing to a crime. I mean, it's clear from images before this that he was soliciting nudes from a minor, but he's here pushing the idea that they should be communicating more because they have a sexually intimate relationship. And these messages being posted while this guy is at the time 16 years old. So Kiba would probably be 23 here. Suffering is a good alternative to feeling well, I guess. Pessimist, as advertised. I'm gonna do something to you if you don't stop being all angsty. But angst and edge is my life. I will literally suck your dick into oblivion if you don't stop. How does that work? I do it so well that you'll feel like your soul left your body. That sounds fun and terrifying. Very aggressive blowjob. I mean, it would be for sure, and I can't help but think about you teasing me all the time. It gets me very excited, and I want to tease you so badly. But unfortunately, you're sick and passing out, so I can't make you feel better or turn you on. Oh well. I'm just gonna sleep now. My head hurts. My head hurts too, man. What am I reading? This guy Kiba Walker is literally fantasizing about engaging in sexual acts with this 16-year-old while being, I assume at the time, 23, since they met each other at 15 and 22. Zero shame, and there's no plausible deniability here. He knows exactly how old this kid is. He's not towing the line or anything with something a little bit suggestive. No, he's just full-blown talking about sucking him off, saying he'll do it so well that his soul will leave his body. A pedo and a sex pest. Why does your head hurt and why change the subject so quickly? My head hurts because of the cold. I sneezed so much today that I gave myself a headache. And I'm not trying to change the subject, I just want to sleep. And thought I'd tell you rather than sleeping and you thinking I'm ignoring you. Okay, LMAO, well get some rest. Dream of me aggressively blowing you. That image will be stuck in my mind. Duh, that's the point. I can send you new things in here, and I still have yet to see you actually finish. Somebody lock this guy up right now, man. There's just no way. Like, this goes far beyond just suggestion. If this guy is actually exchanging nudes with a minor, that's full on a crime. I mean, solicitation is also a crime, but this has gone so far that I legit think that this guy is going to be receiving a visit from his local police. Very true. So I hope sometime I can stop watching the old stuff and see some new things, which is him soliciting that this guy Blade Will Be sends him more nudes of himself. Hey, at Blade Will Be, huh? It's been a while, I guess so. I mean, I missed you, dude. Why did you stop talking to me? I want an answer, hopefully, so I don't continue blaming myself for ruining our friendship. At Blade Will Be, wonderful. So what happened to us? Being entirely honest, I just freaked out because my social anxiety and the whole sexual thing, it was fucking with my head, so I decided to try and distance myself. You definitely could have told me that, and we would have stopped. I apologize wholeheartedly about that. Which again, he said this exact thing before, and clearly didn't stop saying sexual things. I apologize for leading you on so much. I just don't know how to react and handle things like that. I get you. Do you or did you even like me that way? I can't stress enough how sorry I am that I cut off contact. I enjoyed talking to you. I hope you'll forgive me, even though I still feel very attracted to you and such. I hope that you can ignore that in me and, like, at least be my friend. I hope that, like, me doing that stuff with you was at least flattering. As long as the way you talk goes nothing further than suggestive, I'd love to keep being your friend. Well, that's who I am. And it was very flattering, which also freaked me out because I have a thing about not liking compliments. I'll try. I'm sorry. No more sexual stuff with you then. I apologize. There's no need to apologize. Be as sexual as you want. Just don't get too riled up if I flirt back. It's my natural response. I gotcha. So never gonna happen between us ever again, just so I'm clear? Because I'm gonna be sexual, but I don't want you to hate me. This is now the second time that this guy has been told directly, hey, I don't want to engage in any of the sexual stuff anymore. The second time that he said, I apologize profusely. Well, usually when you apologize profusely for something, you're actually very sorry about it, and you're not going to ask them whether or not they enjoyed the sexting before, as well as asking them, well, I mean, are you sure we're never going to do it again? I mean, maybe we can stop for now, but like later, you know, like forever, like the rest of time, forever, like are we never going to do this again? This guy has zero intentions to stop. He wants to continue sexting this kid. It's probably not going to happen again. I miss being your friend, and if it goes that way again, history might repeat itself, and that would crush me. Okay, but if it does happen, you shouldn't be afraid of it, you know? Or let history repeat itself. Not saying it will happen again, just know that I'm always your friend. And Blade gives a thumbs up and says, also, if I don't respond to you at any point, I'm probably just busy or not on a device that can use Discord. I don't plan on ignoring you. And Kiba Walker replies with, I appreciate that. As you can see, I did not learn my lesson the first time and still allowed them back into my life, sexual advances and all. All of it. Time to fap before bed. Night. Good night. Have a nice Thanksgiving, even though I don't understand it. I'll penetrate you with a hook. How dare. You have to admit, you missed your corn dealer and singing pal. Birthday? It was. You're 17 now? Hashtag legal. XDJK. He's not kidding. This guy right here is clearly not kidding. 1 hour later, after that joke about this guy being legal because he turned 17, which I want to add, isn't that him acknowledging that all of the stuff that he was saying before, sexting this kid, it wasn't legal wherever he lives? Because I know the age of consent is different in different states. So if he's saying hashtag legal because this guy turned 17, then he understood that all of the stuff that he was doing before at 15 and 16 was illegal, and he just didn't care. He's like, f it. So after that legal joke, which didn't get responded to, an hour later he decides to say happy birthday. Thank you, man. So we gonna fug? JK. Once again, this guy's not kidding. This guy is not kidding. My screaming wasn't too ear rapey earlier, was it? No, it's okay. I'll attribute it to your excessive horniness. Rogue, you only have 2 moods, horny and tired. Yep, you're horny all the time. I should know. Boy, don't expose me. I was just way too energetic. I'm exposing you and your cock, so calm down. So, just so we're on the same page here, this guy has apologized twice profusely about sexting this kid who they started doing that at 15 and 22 with Kiba Walker being the one that's 22, of course. Then at 16 and 23, and I guess now 17 and 24. But 2 different occasions, this guy was talking about how he apologizes profusely because Bladable B was clearly uncomfortable with all of the sexting. But he doesn't care. He continues. Every single time they start communicating once again, he engages in fully sexual conversation with this kid. Pictured, them encouraging me to audition for an 18+ project with adult scenes when I was underage. It was trash. You're gonna audition, yeah? We'll see. I had planned on it, but I'm trash, so maybe not. After hearing what you thought of the other scenes, I feel like I would just add to the disappointment. No, please audition. For who though? Iluron, or any of the side characters. The bigger characters would definitely require a lot more commitment than the background ones, so it's all down to the amount of commitment my brain wants to give. They're also 18+, and I'm 17. You can do it. Hi, I fell asleep. Pride is over. I am dead inside. Did you get laid? Is that what people are supposed to do at Pride? Yes. Then I guess I've been doing it all wrong. I just got sent a recording of me there. I should have turned the guitar up. Nice, I need to hear this. Or put distortion on it. I'm kind of new to using guitar pedals, but they said I could. Oh nice, I'll see if WhatsApp lets me send it. I mean, it's sent videos by you before. Touché. Once again, this guy referencing nudes that he was sent by this kid. If Kiba Walker ends up going to court over this, he's going away for a long time. I pull funny faces when I perform. This video opened my eyes to it. I bet you pull funny faces when you do other things too. LOL, I'm kidding. He's not kidding. I'll need to see this live singing. So show me the vid. It's sending, and when it's done, you can tell me how bad it was. That's 1 dick pic for every minute it's late. I can't help if my Wi-Fi is allergic to working. Kiba here, the cock connoisseur, the dick destroyer, doesn't seem to be able to handle going a short conversation without referencing something sexual, particularly when it pertains to minors, his favorite group. From August 2018 to December 2019, they weren't pushy and didn't really make references to wanting to receive any pics or videos of me, but would occasionally still bring up that it was something we did before. These particular messages are just from 2 weeks after my 18th birthday. I believe they may have been testing the waters since I was of legal age at that point. Personal question. You must have grown in size since the last time I saw it, correct? LMAO. When was the last time you saw it? I think almost 2 years ago? I don't actually know then. Well, in the future, maybe. Who knows? I'm just flipping through your Google Drive now. Hey, find anything you like? Some yes, LMAO. I'm still remotely curious though, at how much you've grown in the 2 years. LMAO, I'm sorry if that's weird, but like I just thought of it seeing the My Tiger Tail pictures. There was one that I was like, that's absolutely Blade, LMAO. Then the world was plunged into a pandemic, and everyone was forced to stay in their homes. People were bored and antsy, myself included, which caused me to cave and reciprocate the sexting. The problem then became that every conversation was routed towards that outcome. If I wanted to share things I was excited about, or ask about their day, I would eventually be asked to jerk off. So at this point, even when this guy has turned 18, Kiba is not able to have normal conversations with him. They've communicated with each other starting on Skype, and then on Discord, and now on WhatsApp, and despite 2 profuse apologies by Kiba, very profuse, very much genuine apologies about the sexting, Kiba is still sex pesting him, just to display how sorry he is. Hey, been a while. I've missed my jacking off buddy. LMAO. Wow, my phone has been on Do Not Disturb. I hate responding late to things. I've been sick for like 3 weeks now, so I didn't really feel like talking. Technically, I'm still sick, but F it. Hey, that's okay. Hey, howdy. So how have you been? Anything exciting? F my life. Wait, why? Fap time LMAO. I'm waiting for my damn food to get here. I woke up with the most aggressive morning wood. What a wonderful way to start the day. I'm so horny. You have the sex drive of a rabbit, and that's impressive. LMFAO, you busy? You have to send me more videos. I don't have any more right now, but I'll keep that in mind. God, that video you sent was awesome. Bruh, howdy. What's up? Not much. Waiting for my brother to get home so I can order food. Ah, gotcha. Up to anything? I have Minecraft open, but I'm not playing anything. Oh, poor Minecraft. Up for a fap? Afterward, I let this continue for way longer than I should have because at this point my concerns about the legality were no longer there to add to the uncomfortability. I completely cut contact midway through 2023 because I had too much going on in my life to constantly be hounded for sexual favors. Finally telling myself that I was done allowed me to reflect and come to terms with the fact that we may have never been friends in the way I had wanted. I finally let myself think back on those times and realized that the situations I felt strong-armed into weren't something any 15 to 17-year-old was meant to experience. I was preyed upon because it was easy to do so, because I was a socially awkward autistic child who idolized them. It took me an entire year after those realizations to feel comfortable telling close friends about the treatment I experienced for what had essentially been 1/3 of my life at that point. It's been enough time that we can even joke about it, but that doesn't undo the damage it did to me. To this day, it has fundamentally hindered my ability to form close relationships with people out of fear that history will repeat itself. And after seeing their career taking off with them getting role after role in things that have the capacity to give them a bigger platform, as well as recent testimonies I've heard from friends about their predatory behavior, I feel a slight duty to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. This is more than just wanting justice for myself, and much more than the accountability that these documents always preach to seek. I want people to know that Kiba committed a crime. I'd like people to know that whether or not they were thinking about it at the time, this makes them a pedo. And for those that don't fully believe that, although I am under no obligation to provide further proof, I managed to recover images and videos that were sent to me back then, along with the metadata that shows when I received them. For obvious reasons, the pictures themselves will not be shared, but I will link the associated file information. If their family ever reads this document, I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I know how much you adore them, and under normal circumstances, I would never want to shatter that perception. To their partner, I apologize for interacting with you as if nothing was wrong. This started years before we ever met, and I always felt immense guilt knowing that part of it was still happening while you were together. Personal thoughts. As I stated at the start of this document, I've thought long and hard about whether or not I even wanted to post something like this, partly because it puts a lot of attention on me for the wrong reasons, but also because it's hard to follow through on something that could damage the life of someone that I used to care for. After all of the mistreatment over the course of years, part of me is always going to feel guilty for doing this, and I've learned that I just have to live with that, because if I don't, then it all remains in the drafts and I get to feel more guilty that this experience could happen to someone else when I had the means to prevent it. TLDR, Kiba Walker, Texas-based voice actor, solicited naked pictures and videos of me when I was 15 and continued to do so until I stopped talking to them at 22. So this guy's career is done for. Obviously, he's not going to be getting any more roles in the industry. I think that that's pretty obvious. You are not going to want to hire a pedo and a sex pest. His Twitter account, which is private, is probably going to get archived. I don't imagine he's ever going to make that public again. The announcements dropping Kiba Walker have already started to come out. This one by BL It's Games. Their statement regarding allegations against voice actor Kiba Walker. Blitz Games has been made aware of the recent allegations against voice actor Kiba Walker. We want to clarify that we were informed of these allegations by one of the victims previously, and upon learning of the situation, we took immediate action to cut all professional ties with the voice actor. This included fully recasting the role of Yoshinori for new lines in the Scoutmaster Season DLC. We are exploring our options for existing titles, and Kiba Walker will no longer be involved in any current or future project with Blitz Games. We stand with the victims and take these allegations seriously. Blitz Games does not tolerate abusive behavior, and we remain committed to fostering a safe, respectful space space for our fans, our team, and our collaborators. So that's Kiba Walker, an English VA in the space that is a creep, a sex pest, a pedo, and I do believe that there's another document by a different victim, and I will find that and talk about that as well. I'm sorry that this happened to the victims, but it's a very good thing that this guy Blade Will Be decided to come forward and expose him, because obviously Kiba Walker was doing this with multiple people. I don't believe it's just the two, him and the other person who have Google documents, that Kiba Walker was doing this with. It is always a good thing to expose these kinds of people so that they cannot harm anyone else. And for his current role that he has playing in Clevites, which I am watching right now, the anime is currently airing, I hope they replace him with somebody else for the English version. Obviously it is further along in the Japanese version, and I'm watching it subtitled like a lot of people. But for anybody who watches the English dub, assuming that he hasn't actually done all of the voice lines to this point, I think that he should be recast. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Hit the like button to help spread this video around, and subscribe if you aren't already. That's all I have for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.